We're back. 97.7 Hits FM. David Lee Roth is on the phone with us right now, and thank you for calling in. You're always an entertaining soul to talk to, and you know what? A lot of people don't know that you're a very nice man.
Thank you. It's, you know what? Frequently what you perceive in the music is a little different than the artist's intent. You know, Kristy, a lot of the stuff that maybe you think is the funniest or that makes you laugh I had the very different opposite kind of face on when I was writing it.
Oh, yeah?
And the things that perhaps you think are the most somber and serious on my album, I had the biggest smile going when I wrote it down. There's an the old idea that if you want to have an impact on somebody, if you want, for example, if I want the band to perceive it as totally imperial and big time, the best way for me to do that is pretend I'm a bar band. And I've never had a problem with that kind of an approach. I mean, that comes from the family dinner table when my parents told me, "Kid, don't be humble. You're not that good."
What do you look for in a band, Dave?
I look for the same thing in a band that I say to myself when I date a woman for the first time. I say to myself, would I still be here if I was blind?
Hey, that's good.
Well, it's a little hard barometer to live by, but I think when you're in front of a band live on stage, a lot of people are very audience dependent. You know, if you've got the right haircut and the right shirt and the right shoes, and you speak the right jive, then so often people are prepared to accept less than amazing musicality, and I don't buy it. I don't buy it. There are a lot of bands who are very popular today. Suppose you take them to Indonesia and you got a room full of people on a Saturday night who may or may not be rock fans, and they don't speak English either. Then it's really down to, can you play your instrument? Did you really write? What kind of music did you write? What's your stagecraft about? And that doesn't mean you have to jump up and down, but however you get it over, however you project it, that's a harsh rule to live by, but I say that every time I put on a TV set or I go to a live show. Would I still be here if I was blind?
Who's in the band right now?
People that you've never heard of, but not for long. Terry Kilgore and I went to junior high school together, and he's never made a record before or done a tour, and a couple of other characters from the Pasadena Delta in California.
Are you going into the bars and digging them out?
No, these are people who have been revolving around the music community for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, whatever happened, here's one for you. Whatever happened to the Crazy from the Heat movie you were working on? Never heard anything about it.
Mm-hmm. What happened is I have no real interest in being an actor, but I was the guy who directed what is, I guess, the equivalent of the Wizard of Oz of pop video between California Girls and Gigolo, which is my way of thinking of the same video. That was an exaggeration of what I really was, and I could direct that. CBS Pictures, who was going to do the picture, went out of business, as so frequently happens, and boom, no more movie. I have no desire to be an actor in a classic sense. That is an art form that takes easily as much time and involvement as I put into my music. When I could no longer direct a simple video, or the times rather changed, my sense of humor changed, and the people around me changed, and I'm no longer interested in doing that kind of film work, and you move on.
Yeah, so it's just on the floor somewhere, eh?
Sorry?
Is the movie just on the floor somewhere?
No, it's gone forever. Those times are gone forever. The 80s was not 1994, Kristy. It was a time when it was a big party, it was a big celebration, and that's not 1994.
What is 1994 then?
It's intense. It's erotic. It's a little more smart. It's a little more direct. It's pure and it's uncut. That's what I want to see when I go and see a band, when I see an artist perform. I'm tired of seeing mediocre music hiding behind mediocre stage craft and lousy T-shirts even. I want to see the real thing.
Yeah.
And I think I can do that best just the exact way that I started. Is simple lighting, simple stage, and it's up to the musicians, the songs, and what you do in between them.
No, rock and roll, though, right now, speaking of 90s, is real angry, and, I mean, we've got a lot to be angry about. But I never thought of David Lee in a show or a person or in the music as being angry. So how are you going to deal with that trend?
Well, it's not a question of adopting a face or putting on my angry mask like most bands do, as you say. It's not a question of affecting a guise or a costume. It's a question of you be yourself. There is no such thing as just the angry, angry, angry person. That's another act, you know. Mass-produced nonconformity has always tickled my fancy. It's very popular to be follow the trend, you know, and it's very popular to be the angry, angry guy. These guys have a balance. They're just not showing it to you.
Yeah.
Very few single-dimension people out there. It is folks guilty of the sin of omission, if anything. I give it all. I give you all three bases. I'll show you sad, and I'll show you hysterically happy. I'll show you erotic, and I'll show you belly laughs. It is in between. There's social content here. I deal with the riots. I deal with toxic waste and everything. But I deal with it in the way the everyman does. Instead of pointing a finger, Jesus, Kristy, it ain't nothing worse than having to deal with a good example. So tired of people pointing fingers and being holier than thou, a bunch of smug and inept. It's you know, it's a little closer to reality when you say, gee, I just saw a special 3-part TV show on toxic waste and I was just getting used to the taste. That's what we go through in real life here. And if that strikes you as funny, God bless, because I wasn't smiling when I wrote it.
I love you, man. Dave, when's the tour start? Because I got to see you again.
Here's my hat. What's my hurry? The tour starts up March 15th, and we'll be going just about everywhere that'll have us, and some that are still thinking about it, Kristy. So stay tuned. A theater or armory or arena near you soon.
Yeah? So
yeah.
You're going to play Canada for sure soon.
Gonna what?
Going to play Canada for sure soon.
Absolutely.
Okay. I need to see a David Lee Roth show.
Coming soon.
Thank you so much for taking the time out and talking to us today, Dave.
Thank you, Kristy.
Good luck to you.
Soon.
Good luck to you with the tour and the record.
Bye.
Here's more David Lee Roth on 97.7 Hits FM.